At the beginning of quarantine, I recorded a video talking about my travel experience, the current guidelines, what I had to do before I flew into Japan. It got a little lengthy with all the talking, and I wanted to just keep the vlog a vlog and this a separate video. So if you want to watch the vlog, you can go watch the vlog. If you want to know more info about the guidelines and everything, that's what I'll be talking about in this video. I just wanted to do a quick intro before kind of getting into it. First of all, I can't stress enough how important this is, but the restrictions and guidelines are constantly changing. Like, I think early November, you didn't have to quarantine at a hotel, but once Omicron hit, they had all these new rules. And it's different depending on where you're flying from, when you're flying, and what the state of the world is when you're watching this video. And I think a bit like I'm your friend and I'm just telling you about my experience, and I tried to leave all the links to like the websites that I checked for current updates in the description box too. I think at the moment Japan is still not open to like leisure travel just yet. So if you're someone like me, then I hope this video helps. Or maybe you're just curious, that's fine too. So I flew in from Hawaii to Nagoya. I left on December 29th and arrived on the 30th. And today's the last day of my quarantine. I know it's such a pain to travel right now, but I really wanted to see my family. And if you're in a situation similar to me, then I hope this video helps you out a little bit, just so you're familiar with some of the things that you can expect when traveling to Japan at the moment. So that's it for the intro. I hope this helps you in some way. Because of Omicron, now we have to quarantine. It was 3 days, 6 days, or 10 days. And because I'm coming from Hawaii, I have to quarantine for 6 days. After the 6 days, someone has to pick you up or something. You can't use public transportation, and you have to quarantine for another 8 days. Just be mindful that it is constantly changing. At the moment, it's 72 hours before your flight, you have to get a negative COVID test, and they have a list of hospitals that are approved that have this paper that they can fill out, and you have to have this paper in order to board the flight. So for me, the day before my flight, in the morning, I went to go get tested, and I tested negative. It was pretty smooth. You just have to show them that negative test. I didn't have to show them my vaccine card. There's also this questionnaire that you have to fill out before you leave, asking you what your flight is, where you're sitting, if you have any symptoms. Once you're on the plane, they give you the custom form that you usually get, and then they also give you the stack of papers that's like a written pledge, pretty much like saying that you promise you'll quarantine and follow the rules and wear your mask. And they also have a health form that kind of asks you basic questions about how you're feeling. So you fill that out on the plane, and once you arrive, it was pretty organized. Like, of course it is, it's Japan. There's like arrows leading you to this first station, and then you give them all the forms, and they figure out how long your quarantine period, the hotel quarantine period, is gonna be depending on where you're coming from. After that, they send you to this booth, and there's these 2 apps that you have to download. So I had it downloaded before I left, but then they open it up and make sure everything is working. After they check that the apps are all good, you walk over and then you have to take a COVID test. So like, they have this tube with a black line, and you have to spit up to that point, and then they put that away, and then that's it. You just have to wait until the test results come out. And because there wasn't that many people on my flight, it was pretty fast. I think it was less than 30 minutes. And then they just told me while I was waiting that at the hotel that I'm staying at, they're gonna provide water and 3 meals a day, but they don't have coffee. So there's like a vending machine at the airport, so they just gave me like a plastic bag, and they're like, oh, so if you want to get some coffee or whatever, then you can go get it now. So I went to stock up on coffee a little bit. They call you up once your test results are ready, and I tested negative, so they give you like your papers back, and then you walk over and do the rest of like the usual immigration stuff where they stamp, and then you get your baggage. And after you get your baggage, they kind of lead you to your specific shuttle, and then they took us straight to the hotel, which is like 5 minutes away. Yeah, so once we arrived, they greeted us, and then they just briefed us on the rules, like you can't leave your hotel room, no drinking alcohol, no smoking, and that we're gonna be here for 6 days, and we have to take a test on the 3rd and 6th day. And if we test negative for both of those tests, then we can leave. My sister said that at her hotel there was like a form that she filled out where you can put your diet restrictions. And I don't have any specific allergies or diet restrictions, but I was like, oh, you know, during quarantine, maybe I'll just ask for the vegetarian option. But once I arrived at this hotel, they're like, okay, so here's your food, go upstairs and lock the door and don't come out. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, it's okay, I'm not allergic, it's fine, I guess. But I think if you have a specific allergy or food restrictions, then I think you're allowed to tell them and they'll make adjustments. I'm sure they will. So yeah, I got in yesterday. Yesterday counts as day 0, so it was the 30th, and today is my first day in quarantine. And the hotel and the food and everything is free in Japan. I don't know if it's different if you're not a citizen. You know, it's not the best case scenario, but it's also not the worst, and this is just what we have to do. And I'm glad that they're doing something to keep everyone safe, and I feel like I'll have a little bit more ease of mind knowing that I'm completely, you know, COVID free when I go and see my parents. So hope this helped you get an idea a little bit. And I did film a vlog during my stay, so if you're interested in watching that, I'll also leave that in the description box. Whew. Thank you for watching. Ah, my foot!